Would you have come to the UK if you'd have known you could end up in Rwanda?
Never. Never.
Do you think it will stop other people coming now?
Yeah. Yeah. I say to all asylum, don't come to UK.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the United Kingdom planning to deport some migrants to Rwanda. That's right, we're talking about Africa, a very, very, very far way away from the United Kingdom. We're talking about Central Africa, right next to Central African Republic, Burundi, Kenya, that part of the world. Now, $1 million question, why Rwanda? Why so far? What's the problem with the UK? Well, the UK does not want all these migrants coming in illegally through these little boats that often capsize and sink, and people lose their lives like that. And also, it's a deterrent. Hey, if you're coming from some random part of the country to UK illegally, and it's thousands of you coming all the time, maybe you're not going to do that if you realize once you get there, you're going to be on the plane to Rwanda. Okay, maybe that might be a deterrent, as you heard in the very beginning of this video. Now, I applaud this, quite frankly, because if we did that here in the States, we might have less of a border crisis. What we do in the States is we may send them to a particular sanctuary state in the States, though. Okay, so if you're a migrant coming to Texas and just hanging out in Corpus Christi, Brownsville, wherever you are, El Paso, and you get a free plane ride to New York or Chicago, it's not really a big deal. But if you get a free plane ride to Afghanistan, it might be a little bit different. So this is a fantastic move. Now, let's check out an article right here. You see what's happening. This is the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and he approves this. This was a campaign promise of his because he wants to, as you see, stop the boats. It's a deterrent to stop all these rinky-dink boats from crossing the channel into the UK, where a lot of them don't survive and they cannot take care of all these migrants. Yes, it's going to be expensive. Rwanda would not take these migrants for free. I'm sure they're going to get paid, but the deterrent factor makes more sense to spend the money on that rather than trying to spend money on housing and things of this nature. You know, all you're going to do if you spend money on housing the migrants in UK is get more of these migrants. And you see what's going on here. Brett and Sunak vows to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda in 10 to 12 weeks. So he's saying, look, regardless of what, it's already passed the parliament. I'm not sure how their system works over there, but it passed the parliament. The next step, I don't know. But the prime minister is saying, we're going to start the planes in 10 to 12 weeks. It's already done. We've already talked to Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. We've already talked to those over there in the hotel where we're going to send them. The deal's done. We're going to start sending them in 10 to 12 weeks, and that's that. So if you come to UK illegally through a boat, be prepared to get a one-way ticket to Africa, and it is what it is. Now, there's a lot more I want to get into, but first, let's hear from today's sponsor. Have you Google searched yourself lately? If you haven't, do it, and you might be shocked at what comes up. Your full name, date of birth, email address, home address, health records, relatives. It's all out there on the internet because data brokers sell your personal information to spammers, scammers, hackers, whoever wants it. That's why I use Aura, the sponsor of today's video. They will seek out these websites and these data brokers and submit opt-out requests automatically. And I had to learn this the hard way back in 2019 when I got swatted. And if you don't know what that is, basically somebody got a hold of my email address, my phone number, my home address from the internet, and they called my local police to say that I had somebody in the basement tied up and bleeding out, and they had to come rescue them right away. So as I'm getting ready to stream, I have not one, not two, not three, but 6 cops at my back door, guns drawn, telling me to get on the ground. Now, luckily, they're professional. I was professional and nothing happened, but I didn't want that to happen anymore. So I invested into Aura to make sure that my data did not get released to the internet again, so the nefarious people couldn't have access to it. You may say, hey, ABL, I'm not a streamer. I'm not going to get swatted. So how can Aura help me? Well, AT&T just revealed that 73 million accounts have been compromised and their data leaked to the dark web. Everything from phone numbers to passwords to social security numbers could be available for bad people to use against you. Now, AT&T recommends you get a stronger password and monitor your account activity, maybe get a credit freeze and invest in fraud alerts from a credit bureau. Well, Aura can take care of all of the above in one stop. Rather than investing in a bunch of different apps, just get Aura and they'll take care of you. You can be at peace. You can have relaxation knowing that Aura is on in the background protecting your sensitive data. So go ahead and get Aura right now today. I have a link in the description box and you can see it right here on the screen, aura.com/Anthony Logan, and start your free 2-week trial today. Again, aura.com/Anthony Logan. Now let's check this out. This is going to be a video of some migrants reacting to the whole situation, and there's going to be a little bit more about this. And of course, I will link to everything in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
You are all welcome here in Derby, and it is important that your voices and your stories can be heard by the Home Office in London.
Now, I'm not sure who this guy is. Might be some kind of migrant activist or something. And guys like that are the problem. They are the ones that invite people to a place like UK. And it's not even about, you know, you just hate migrants, you hate immigrants, you hate brown people. It's not even about that. It's about, hey, you got 1,500 guys on the rubber boat and the boat capsizes. Now we got to deal with the deaths. It's just a whole big humanitarian mess. You know, there was a high court decision, I suppose, before the parliament passed it, that I suppose got overturned. And they're talking about, oh, it's inhumane to send them to Rwanda. Well, is it inhumane for them to come into a boat and risk their life, liberty, freedom, all of that to get to UK? I don't understand.
The welcome offered by this charity in Derby, in contrast with the government's intention to remove people here to Rwanda. Asylum seekers who've been trying to plan for the future, now facing the reality that may not be in the UK. Among this group are people who've been warned by the Home Office they're actively being considered for Rwanda. Hamza, who's from Iran, arrived on a small boat in 2022. He's had this letter telling him the government has evidence that before he claimed asylum, he was in France, and says it may ask Rwanda whether it would admit him.
Now, the thing about it is, if you are traveling from country to country, obviously you can seek asylum somewhere else. You should seek asylum in the first country you come in contact with. If you're escaping Iran and you get to another place that's safe, then okay, you're home free. But you want to go from Iran to France to here to there and then settle in UK. Are you an asylum seeker or are you an opportunity seeker? Which one is it?
I'm very stressed, he tells me. I don't know what to do. All I can think about is this letter and Rwanda. He says his wife has already warned him if he's sent to Rwanda, he'll never see her or their 2-year-old again. Their plan had been to join him in the UK.
So where's your wife at? Because that's something else. You got all these men, all these adult men. Where are the women and children? If they're seeking asylum, why aren't the kids and the wife with them? Okay, you're running from safety, but you're leaving your wife behind? How that makes sense? What you're doing is just trying to go somewhere and work and get money and bring it back to your family. Why can't we just be honest about that? If that's what you want to do, just say that. Rather than trying to say, oh, I'm an asylum seeker. Stop lying.
And for everyone still waiting to hear the outcome of their asylum claim, the concern is no news means bad news.
They're thinking too much, about the Rwanda.
People are losing sleep over it.
They can't even sleep. They're thinking too much.
Farhed came from Sudan last July, where he claims he was tortured. But after crossing continents to get to the UK, now faces a flight back.
After crossing continents, first of all, how did you cross the continents? Second of all, what places did you land in? Where were you at? Were you in Middle East, Southern Europe? How did you get all the way from Sudan in Africa to UK?
To Africa.
Really, I'm sad. But I don't have any option to. I don't have any option. I can't do anything. Just I will be patient.
What is it about Rwanda that makes you feel that you don't want to go there?
Africa is Africa, everywhere in Africa they have, problems. Rwanda is not, a safe place.
Now, to be fair, Rwanda did have a genocide back in 1994. The Hutus and the Tutsis, she's talking about 1 million dead in that situation. Now, things have calmed down a lot since then. It's not the same way it was in the early 1990s. Okay, I would think Rwanda is a lot safer than other African countries.
Does it make you regret coming to the UK?
Yeah, if before I came here, you say that, they sent to me in Rwanda, I never come here.
Fatima says she doesn't regret leaving Afghanistan. She came over on a small boat with her sister last summer.
I fled my country in order to be safe, Otherwise, I'm gonna killed by Taliban. Because while I was in Afghanistan, I worked with American, people. And I studied in American universities.
How do you feel?
Now, with her, I think that she has an actual asylum claim. You're working with the Americans in Afghanistan. You might just got left there by the Americans when we pulled out recently. So I understand she may have an actual asylum claim, unlike a lot of the other adult men who were just there trying to get money and send it back to their families.
That you could now get sent to Rwanda.
It's really unfair. While I heard about this news, I become really locked. I can't see nothing because it is not fair, especially for the one who came from Afghanistan.
Outside the meeting, Masood, who's from Iran, reveals an email he's had from the Home Office confirming his asylum claim has been referred to the third country process, meaning he too is being considered.
Everybody got cell phones and nice clothes and they look well put together. I don't understand the asylum claim. I don't understand the victim claim. It's not really processing. Okay, at a certain point, 2 and 2 is 4, but what's happening right now is 2 plus 2 is 5, if you catch my drift.
For Rwanda. Would you have come to the UK if you'd have known you could end up in Rwanda?
Never. Never.
Do you think it will stop other people coming now?
Yeah. I say to all asylum, don't come to UK.
You heard that. He said to all asylum, don't come to UK. And that is the whole point. It's a deterrent. It's not about trying to be inhumane or anything like that. It's about, hey, you guys are coming on these little boats, risking your life, overwhelming the system. How about don't? To me, it just kind of makes sense. And Rwanda, again, is not some kind of it's not civil war going on no more. It's in 1990s. It's different. It's safer than a lot of other African places. So why not go there? People want to go to UK because of the economic benefits, because of the way the society is set up. They can benefit the most financially, in my humble opinion. Not really about safety. It's about securing that big bag of money. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Rishi Sunak. Shout out to the UK. You guys are doing some things right. You had Brexit. That was one thing. Now you have this. I think you're going in the right direction. The problem is, as I close, that there are still some benefits, quite a few benefits for these so-called asylum seekers. So although there's a deterrent about you might get sent to Rwanda, maybe you don't, and you're able to be in UK reaping those benefits. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what's going on here with the situation in UK and having some of the migrants being sent to Rwanda? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think that this is a good idea. It makes a lot of sense. I don't see why anybody would have anything negative to say about it. This is good policy. How is it inhumane? Again, what's inhumane? What's more inhumane? Being sent on a one-way ticket to a place that's set up just for you, or you traveling in a boat across the water where it might capsize and you might lose your life? Which one is better? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.